So, the new ROG Xbox Ally X is here. I'm really excited to check this boy out. Growing up, I was a PlayStation kid. My world revolved around PS1, PS2, until the PS5. Everything about that ecosystem just clicked for me. The controller, the interface, and the simplicity. Outside of consoles, there was PC gaming, but that was a completely different beast. Counter-Strike, Dota 1, Red Alert, all these games needed mouse, keyboard settings, drivers. To be honest, they were quite intimidating. So I sank all my time into PlayStation while my friends explored the PC world. Fast forward to today, the ROG Xbox Ally X is trying to bridge that gap to make PC feels like console gaming. And that's why I feel this video is interesting, because I want to find out if this handheld can really change the way we think about PC gaming. And at 4,299 ringgit, can it really make sense? Let's start with something that's instantly noticeable: the new grips. Compared to the original ROG Ally X, the ROG Xbox Ally X feels completely different in the hands. The handles are thicker, rounder, looks like a PlayStation Portal. It feels more like a console controller than a handheld PC. Even though the overall weight has increased slightly, the way it's distributed actually makes it more comfortable for long sessions. And this is the first time a handheld PC actually feels as natural as holding a PlayStation or Xbox controller. But the real highlight is the impulse triggers, similar to what you experience on an Xbox controller. When you're braking in Forza Horizon or firing a weapon in Halo Infinite, each trigger vibrates independently to simulate tension and feedback. When you compare side by side, the grip, the ergonomics, and now the impulse triggers, this is easily the most comfortable handheld ROG has ever made. Now let's talk about the Xbox full screen experience, the star of the collaboration. Starting with the good, this is where ROG and Xbox are actually listening. The integration between Armoury Crate SE and the Xbox game bar is now much tighter. You can pull up the game bar at any time, adjust the power profiles, resolution, or display refresh rate directly. And then the quick switching between games is genuinely impressive. You can literally open two titles at the same time, like Monster Hunter Wilds and Silksong, and swap between them in seconds without losing progress. But what surprisingly is the performance hit is minimal compared to playing the games independently. And also the system even saves about 1.5GB of RAM while improving battery efficiency at the same time. While it's a huge step up from the old Windows launcher experience, not everything is perfect. One thing that still makes the PlayStation UI special is how alive it feels. Every game has its own background, its theme music. Even before you press start, you already feel immersed. The Xbox full screen experience doesn't quite have that magic though. Sure, it's a cleaner than basic Windows 11, but it feels like a glorified Microsoft Store interface. Just a list of installed games, slightly more polished and easier to navigate. If the goal is to deliver a true console experience, then we should be able to handle most things, updates, before booting into Windows. Right now, I still need to juggle between Armoury Crate SE, Windows settings, My Asus, and even Microsoft Store just to make sure everything is updated. It still feels like a PC trying really hard to be a console. So yeah, it's a great step forward, but it's not quite there yet. Now let's talk about performance. The new AMD Ryzen AI Z2 Extreme chip. It's an upgrade, but not in the way we might expect. At the higher 25W turbo mode, the performance uplift over the Z1 Extreme isn't massive, maybe like 5 to 10% depending on the game. So if you're chasing pure frame rates, it's more refinement than the revolution. We can see around the same improvements for 70W and 13W modes where the performance have marginal increase. But what I noticed is the device runs cooler than the 2024 Ally X and also using lower total system power, which is great. And Silksong of course runs effortlessly at full refresh rate and at silent mode. And because of that efficiency, you can now enjoy better visuals without draining your battery too quickly. So while it's not a night and day difference in raw power, the Z2 Extreme makes the ROG Xbox Ally X feels more consistent, more cooler, and more efficient. So after spending time with the ROG Xbox Ally X, as someone who grew up on PlayStation, I've always admired how effortless console gaming feels. The beautiful UI, the game-centric experience, that immediate sense of immersion. And now, seeing Xbox and ROG trying to bridge that gap, right? It really feels like we're getting closer. The hardware is already there. The grip, the triggers, the screen, the new AMD Z2 Extreme, all a solid step forward. But the software? It's still catching up. The Xbox full screen experience is promising, but not quite seamless, not quite inviting. At 4,299, I do have to give credit though. ROG kept the same price as last year's Ally X. That's actually impressive considering how the handheld market is moving. Devices like Lenovo Legion Go 2 or the MSI Claw are getting more and more expensive. But yeah, it's still a tough pill to swallow. Especially now with Switch 2 already out, offering better portability and growing lists of AAA titles that are playable on it too. Still, I think this partnership marks an important step. If Xbox and ROG can keep refining the experience, optimizing the performance, improving the battery life, and polishing that UI, it could redefine what Windows gaming feels like, not just for handhelds, but even for gaming laptops and PCs. Maybe this isn't the final form yet, but it's the closest we've ever been to a true console PC hybrid. And honestly, that's exciting. Then Xbox decided to release the Xbox full screen experience to handheld users. Should we still call this an ROG Xbox Ally?